Joseph Jones appeared for his scheduled court date, but because of the extra charges added, he was cuffed and detained to ensure that he didn't get a case of cold feet before being called.
And expose red pill content creators as hypocrites, liars, and scammers.
Today, a former Travis County Sheriff's deputy pled guilty to capital murder for killing his ex-wife, his adopted daughter, and his daughter's boyfriend in Northwest Austin last year.
Stephen Broderick will now spend the rest of his life in prison without the possibility for parole. The murder happened in April 2021. Broderick and his ex-wife were supposed to be exchanging custody of their children at an apartment complex near the Arboretum. He crashed into her car and shot 3 people inside. His other child was not injured. Police found Broderick the next morning. You can see that video here on US 290 in Manor. He had a loaded pistol in his waistband.
Because that'll scare people with sexual assault from speaking up and telling their truth.
I am a survivor of domestic violence, or IPV, intimate partner violence.
Actor Melissa Benoist has faced personal demons that she's now bravely bringing to light on Instagram.
Pinned down and slapped repeatedly, punched so hard the wind was knocked out of me.
She says her abuse began verbally, escalating to the day her abuser threw a cell phone into her face.
We made up a flimsy story together. I had tripped and fallen on the stairs.
Benoist's struggle with domestic violence is hardly isolated.
We'll be looking at the criminal history of Tom Leykis, who is referred to as the godfather of red pill ideology. Now, according to the official police report, on December 22nd, 1993, Tom Leykis and his wife Susan had an argument while in bed around 1 a.m. after coming home from a Christmas party. As a result of this argument, Tom Leykis, according to the police report, threw a glass at his wife, which hit her in the head. He then proceeded to push her head into a brick fireplace located in their bedroom, then grabbed her and, per the police report, threatened to kill her. The officers who responded to the 911 call observed, once they arrived, scratch marks on Susan Leykis' left forearm and felt a large bump on her head. This led to Tom Leykis being placed under arrest and charged with assault and battery by dangerous weapon and threatening to commit a crime, specifically murder, per the police report. Now, a few months later, on March 9, 1994, prosecutors dropped all charges after Tom Leykis' attorney agreed to a deal that would settle the case without Tom Leykis having to admit guilt. However, as part of the deal, Tom Leykis was placed on probation for a year and was ordered to attend a batterist program at the Center for Prevention of Domestic Violence in Los Angeles. That Tom Leykis has no credibility when it comes to relationships, as evidenced by his own personal life, and thus should never be taken seriously when it comes to that subject. This video was also meant to highlight the willful ignorance and or lack of discernment of most red pill men, as well as red pill content creators and even men's rights activists who have not only endorsed Tom Leykis, but have also propped him up as this great example that men should listen to and follow. And so a question that red pill men need to ask themselves in light of this information is, how can a man like Tom Leykis be trusted in the realm of relationships when he tells men to sleep with married women, as covered in a previous video, and whose checkered past includes 4 failed marriages, including an incident where he was arrested and charged with assault and battery by a dangerous weapon and threatening to murder his own wife.
I've been doing some reading, and I finally have an answer to the female question. We mustn't default to Mario. The Unterfrau must be made Uberfrau. The feminine penis is the divine harmony that will propel man to the stars.
He's right, Mario. The female menace must be eradicated.
I want to illustrate what this red pill ideology eventually leads to, which is a life of perpetual singlehood and loneliness that in recent years has been getting more and more mainstream coverage as the number of elderly men and women committing suicide or dying alone in nursing homes has continued to increase.
In the investigation and the process of dealing with this case, I've come across a number of things that I find very concerning about this individual.
New charges were added after 3 more women came forward telling police this man grabbed their feet and removed their shoes without permission. The prosecution tells the judge they are concerned with this pattern of alleged behavior.
And I believe it presents a danger to society in general. I know on the surface this seems kind of comical, but I am concerned from the underpinning tones of what we have as a domination discussion, what we have as a Satanism discussion.
Jones has been banned from several stores across town, including the Franklin Park Mall. And now with 4 listed victims, the judge decided to place Jones on electronic monitoring to ensure he doesn't try to visit his alleged victims, who have all filed protection orders against him.
Men who hurt women hate women. To all the survivors, your stories are real and people believe you. To all the survivors, you're not alone, and there are men and women out there who only care for your well-being and safety. To the abusers, you're done. You're not safe anymore. You're not protected anymore. The men by your side are just as weak.